Assalamu alaikum salah. Just before we begin, if you support the Young Smokes podcast and you want to help support the channel, please go to the Patreon below and support us monthly so we can keep up with the shows. We've got lots of content coming up. We're going to have special content specifically for the Patreons, as well as a new series on Hijrah, inshallah. So please go to the Patreon below and support the podcast. Assalamu alaikum salah.
إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum salah. It's the Young Smokes podcast. It's me, John Fontain, and I'm with two very good brothers. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Umar Debois and
Rashid, Yaqub.
Rashid, Yaqub. All the way in the Gambia. Alhamdulillah. And I first came to Gambia 17 years ago. Before I was a Muslim. It's kind of the place I kind of started looking into Islam. Gambia, Senegal, Sierra Leone. And so, what are you guys doing here? How did you end up in the Gambia? Because I know you're from the States and you're from...
He came first, so
Yeah?
I should talk first. I think so. Yeah, he came first.
So let me precede you.
Please.
Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. I first came here about a little bit over 5 years now, Alhamdulillah. And after it was a period after I left Egypt, I was looking for another place to go. And I remember Sheikh Zaid, his name came to me now, was telling me about some land that he had in Gambia. He was the first African American I had spoken to that actually had land in Gambia. I was like, you have land in Gambia? I said, it's interesting, you know? And I remember we were in rehab in Egypt. He was telling us about this. And that planted the first seed. Then I spoke to another brother regarding Gambia, and he was telling me that, and he was somebody I knew from Egypt. He was telling me that you would feel similar to the environment. It would feel similar to you, like the environment of Egypt. But he was mentioning that it's a little bit more common. The environment is a little more common, much more common. That was the second seed planted, and the last seed that was planted when I spoke to Uncle Abdurrahman. He was telling me a number of things regarding Gambia and the charity that he was running there at the time. I said, you know what, I'm coming there to visit. I ended up coming there to visit and ended up staying. I haven't been back to the U.S. since I've been here. Yeah, not one time even to visit. Maybe some people were saying, I should go there and visit. But alhamdulillah, my mom comes here all the time. MashaAllah. She's just going on her third time coming here.
She likes it,
this year. She loves Gambia. So that makes it a whole lot easier for me. I still have a lot of family that I would love to visit, and my dad is there. But Gambia is, mashallah, man. Gambia is a beautiful place. I remember actually, after I got off the plane, that same night, I got off the plane, I went in front of our school, our girls' Quran school, where Abdurrahman's place is, and I said, I'm at home. This is my home.
MashaAllah.
I remember saying, I said, I'm at home. That's Sakina. I felt I felt this was my home. Like I was returning back to a place that perhaps even my ancestors were. That's the immediate feeling. I felt a direct connection with Gambia. Alhamdulillah, being that as a Muslim country made it all the better to me. Alhamdulillah.
SubhanAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's the thing. I mean, we're all converts to Islam.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
We accepted Islam at some point. And being from the West, we don't have an immediate back home.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't have a back home. My back home is England, right?
Exactly.
I don't have like a Muslim back home.
Yes.
But for you felt an actual connection.
Immediate connection.
SubhanAllah.
Immediate connection.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
Immediate connection with Gambia. It's just, I just felt at ease, man. I didn't feel that I have to be in a place where, and I mean, everybody, even one brother that just got here, he's only been here about a week. He came from a place close to Chicago. And he said immediately when he came here, that pressure of the environment, of that crime, of the violence, all of that was removed once he came here, and that, you know, you just feel at ease.
Very
man.
safe.
You know, very safe environment.
You know, people have a lot of stereotypes when it comes to Africa. They think it's dangerous. They see these videos online and,
it's true, yeah.
and poverty and crime and, you know, war and famine. And it's not like that everywhere,
like
you know.
that at
And in
all.
fact, not many places are like that, actually. You know,
sure.
unless there's war or famine, you know, most places in Africa, you know, they're poor. You know, they're struggling. But there's a lot of benefits as well.
So many benefits.
You know, we have so many issues in the West, you know, and we'll get onto that, inshallah.
Yes.
But Rashid, you also accepted Islam.
Yes.
And how long have you been a Muslim now?
17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
Inshallah.
So why did you come to Gambia?
Well, 2016, I was on Hajj, alhamdulillah, and I read a book called Hijrah while I was in Mina, in the tents. And I got to like halfway through the book, and I just said, wow, because I was a youth worker in England, and an Islamic youth worker as well afterwards. So I always knew that there was so much issues in the community. And when I started reading about Hijrah, I realized that a lot of these issues would just go away if we're just around good Muslims. So I decided that, and I came to the conclusion I have to leave. Now, I visited Saudi, I visited Kuwait, I visited Turkey. I went and done a CELTA course to teach English just so I could go abroad. And one uncle, our uncle, as we said, Uncle Abdulrahman, he was always inviting us from South London. And he was always inviting us and saying, come to Gambia, come to Gambia. I've got land, I'll give you land for free. And I was like, you know what, I made a promise. And one thing I do, when I say I'm coming somewhere, I will go. So when I got to Gambia, it was a 7-day holiday. I intended it just to fulfill my promise. It wasn't even, because I didn't know much about Gambia. I knew much about, I like Morocco, and I still do. When I got to Gambia, I couldn't believe there was a place like this. The rent straight away, the rent was £900 for the year.
For the whole year?
For the whole year. I said, this is my rent in England.
For 1 month.
Yeah,
1 month.
so I ended up, did I pay? I can't remember if I paid the year straight away. Coconuts were dropping off trees. Mangoes were just dropping off trees. I've never had the salam so much in my life from everyone. When the policeman salamed me on the third day, the police was saying Salamu Alaikum. That confused me. I'm from South London. That doesn't even make sense to me. His salam was so powerful, it was as if I was the police. So that was another tick box. The way people was helping him. Oh, brother, you want a coconut? I'll get it for you. Do you remember that day? The man climbed on another man's shoulders and got the coconut and gave it to us.
Wow. I mean, we've experienced so many things like that, man.
I was confused.
Yeah.
And then I said, is there... And then when the people was... so I started walking down the road and people was making eye contact with me. And they always would, like... You know, if you make eye contact with people eating food, they kind of force you to come and eat. I'm not used to sharing bowls. We're used to our own plates in England. Fork and spoon. And they forced me to come and eat, and I ate with them, and I saw how nice it felt.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. I became addicted to eating with the people,
in the
with
same bowl,
with the bowl, with the family.
It's amazing.
When I got back to England, I tried to implement that in my home, and we tried, and it was nice. We start eating on the floor and together as a family. And I just fell in love with the place, and I never knew you could be a Muslim and have an easy Islam.
Yeah.
So that's what convinced me. Came back after a month, tied up my loose ends in England, and kept coming back and forth. And now I'm trying to settle and build and
MashaAllah.
for the future.
So, you know, I'm getting a lot of requests for like to do videos about Hijrah, because I've traveled a lot of the world, so people are interested, you know, what opportunities are out there. You know, I know you're both well traveled, mashallah. You've traveled to a few different places.
Mashallah.
So, but I want to speak specifically about Gambia. So, if someone was to move here, like what are they looking at really in terms of, you know, what opportunities for, like, how much does it cost to rent property? You know, what style of property is it? Is it big? Does it have a garden? You know, even buying property. Also, like education for children, learning Arabic, maybe learning Islam, studying Islam. You know, what does Gambia have to offer in this sense?
You want that one or you?
I'll deal with the rent and you deal with the education part. Yeah? So rent, the low end now,
Yeah.
it's gone a bit. It's raised the price since I last came, but the low end now is about £100 a month, and you have to pay at least 6 months.
Yeah.
So for the year, £1,200. High end, that's for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Unfurnished.
And it's comfortable.
It's comfortable, and it's as comfortable as you make it with your furniture. And then high end, maybe like 4-bedroom compound, your own villa, is what, 2,400 for the year. So double. Max you're paying is £2,500 for the year, isn't it?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it depends on the area as well.
Oh yeah.
You can go a bit higher than that. Like one of the places Brother Abdullah had in the past. I mean, his had like this huge R. Kelly type of place, man. I mean,
Basically,
this place was like,
Mansion.
yeah, it was more like 4,000 for the whole year. But still,
whatever you want is here.
I mean, this
Yes.
place was huge, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a huge place. I mean, literally 3 or 4 families could have fit in that place.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was for like, $4,000 for the whole year, something around that amount.
Yeah.
You can, like Rashid mentioned, you can find what you're looking for. You know? You can find what you're looking for here, and it depends upon
Whatever your budget
status,
is.
whatever your budget is.
Yeah.
You should be able to find something for what you.
How
what your
about
budget is.
utilities like bills, stuff like that? What we're looking at, you know, like for a month.
So basically, me,
Yeah.
in my 2-bedroom apartment, I pay £5 for the whole month, and we don't use the fridge much in my house. But when I had a brother staying with me, brothers always come and stay in my house. So one brother, he always needs the fridge. So recently, he's kept putting on the fridge. It went to £10 a month. So yeah, fridge,
For your electric?
air condition, takes a lot of electricity. Because we out takeaway every day, and you know, get cold drinks at the shop downstairs because there's shops connected to your compounds. But around £5 to £10 a month.
Yes.
Wi-Fi is expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is expensive.
Serious.
Yeah.
And what's the connection like? Because a lot of people now who are considering Hijrah, Wi-Fi is actually a big deal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
you need a
internet-
good connection, need a solid connection.
Because I deal with internet a lot here. And internet is, I would say, internet is expensive, and depending on like what Rashid is saying, depending on how you use your electric can get expensive as well, depending on how you use it. Like if you're using especially during the rainy season when it's a lot hotter. If you're using a lot of ACs, then it's going to be a bit more expensive, maybe like £40 a month. You understand? You can have some, you know, you can be able to run your ACs and stuff like that, or a little bit more, depending on how many children you have, rooms, etc. But the internet, like NetPage, for example, NetPage, I would say but it seems like the packages I researched, especially more recently, seem like they're the least expensive. Because I remember I was paying like $4,000 a month, dollars, which is around $80, $70, $80, yeah, about £70 a month, and that was for 20 megabytes speed.
Oh wow.
20 megabyte speed, which
How
is
many
very
gigs?
good for Gambia.
Yeah, and how many gigs?
Very good.
Is that unlimited or?
It's unlimited, yeah.
Okay.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
So you can get, and they had speeds up to 100 megabytes. If you have money, you can get those strong speeds.
Yeah.
If you have the money, you can get it. But the internet is a little bit more expensive compared to America or UK. I've noticed that. That's one thing.
So of course,
out
most
of many
people,
things, yeah.
you know, who are thinking of considering Hijrah, you know, they have concern about their Islam, their own Islam, also their children's upbringing. So, Islamically, what does Gambia have to offer? You know, is there like institutes where we can learn Arabic, learn Quran, learn, you know, things like that?
One thing was beautiful about Gambia, we can say alhamdulillah for that. There's madrasas everywhere, where people are becoming more conscious of the religion of Islam every day here, even though it's predominantly 95%. However, you find, you know, some people not really knowing their religion. But there are so many madrasas here popping up every day, and madrasas that have been around for a long time that go up to the high school level, and then you have the Islamic University here, which Sheikh Abdul Razak Ibn Wahsan, he's one of the people that, from my understanding, that helped open the Jamia here, Jamia Al Hassan here in the Gambia, which is amazing. And then you have a Jamia here that is only for women, for example, where you have many shuyukh there that have graduates from Medina, Ibn Saud, different places from around the Muslim world.
So
Sudan,
is
different
it
places in
possible
Sudan,
for
Pakistan.
foreigners like us to
Absolutely.
join that? Yeah.
You know, the thing is for these two jamias, for especially the new fees, it's a bit expensive for the average Gambian. But compared to what we're used to spending in the West, it's like $500 for the whole year. $500 for the whole year, man, for a jamia. So
that's good.
That's very inexpensive. You can't find that anywhere. So from that perspective, it's very inexpensive. And even the Islamic madrasas that go up to the age of high school is very inexpensive. And many of them, they're teaching in all Arabic. So many of the students here, which is shocking, one brother mentioned the same thing that he mentioned to me, that he's able to practice his Arabic here more than he was able to practice it in some Arab countries.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you have the ability to do that. Alhamdulillah.
And generally, the people on the street, they speak in English, right? You don't have a problem communicating with
Yes,
with
generally,
locals.
I would say, man, 85% people you can communicate very easily with them in English.
Yeah.
And for people that are that are really practicing their deen here, their religion, and if they went to the madrasa, you will find that many of them speak Arabic fluently, especially the males. They speak Arabic fluently, and you'll be able to speak with them in Arabic if you know Arabic as well. So if you know English, Arabic, because some of them can't speak English.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned that. Some of them can't speak English. They're now starting to implement that more, where they're teaching English inside of madrasa as well, along with Arabic, so they can be, they can be more versatile because it's the official language of Gambia. So they should know English. Alhamdulillah.
What about residency? Is it easy to get residency? Have you had any issues?
Oh, that's
Very easy. Man.
Yeah. Well,
And that's one of the
How
beauties
does that
of Gambia. You would say, out of all the places you've probably been, this is the easiest country to enter, the easiest Muslim country to come and stay.
how does it work? I know it's basically it's visa free to enter, right?
I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, it's easy.
Very easy.
Basically, £100. You pay that, and then sometimes you just wait in a queue, a long queue for the day, or a few hours if you get there early. £100 give you your driver's license, your residency, and your card that you can do business and work with. And I think sometimes you just show them your passport and your driving license, and then they just convert it. You'll come back in about 2 weeks. They give you a receipt. In 2 weeks, you have it for the whole year. It lasts from January the 1st to December the 31st. So if you pay that 100 on November, it will only last a month. And in January, everyone's got to renew again.
Okay.
After 7 years, I think, depending on your marriage situation, up to 15 years, they'll give you Gambian full-time residency.
Residency, okay.
But people are fighting to lessen that.
Inshallah.
It's very easy. They even if you did get caught by immigration and you go to the airport, you pay a small fine, and they say just
Like if you'd overstayed or
Yeah,
something.
they're not rigid on that.
Similar
at all,
to
what I've
Egypt
seen,
in
yeah.
that sense.
they're very nice.
It's like a
I would say
Yeah.
Egypt is much more rigid in that area right there.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I haven't seen that type of rigidness here. You know,
So you both travelled quite well. So what other countries? I mean, what made you choose Gambia over other countries?
good question.
I'll go. I've been to Morocco, Egypt, Turkey, Kuwait, Saudi, Dubai, UAE, Gambia. And in a nutshell, it's the ease. The ease of living, the ease of Islam, the ease of rent, when I paid that rent for the year, it's like half my stress went away. Like your whole stress goes away, and I realized that's why in England, I think sometimes a lot of us are stressed because it's the system, the pressure of the bills. So a wife and husband or friends might argue, or families always arguing over small things. When here, you've paid your bills, you just need to worry about food, and everyone shares food here. Literally, everyone shares food here. So the love of the people, and I'll give you a hadith. What we all know, but I only felt it when I got here. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you wish to increase in love between the people, spread the salam. And here you can salam everyone. You get on a bus, everyone gives you salam. And it's like, you just fall in love with the place.
Yeah. So what type of, what activities do you do with your family? You know, you have families, children. You know, what kind of things do you do with them, apart from, you know, studying, teaching and things? Is it, you know, you got beaches here, you got activities?
One of the things I will say that, and this is probably one of the things you can say that some of us can come here and try to implement more of that. You have playgrounds here. You have places such as like Q City, where they've structured areas for, you know, for families to come and relax, children to come to play. You have the beaches here, of course, where you can take, and you even have areas where the beaches is secluded, so you can take your family there and have picnics and stuff like that there. But I would say that's one thing that some brothers like us, some brothers that are entrepreneurs, can come and actually bring that to the Gambia, even more so, where they have more activities for the children. I would like to see some of those activities, like that's one beautiful thing about the UAE, for example. It's very family oriented. I've heard this about Malaysia as well. Yeah, a lot of activities for the children, as well as areas in Saudi, very family oriented. So I would say, you know, that's one area. It could, we could improve it, inshallah. Yeah, we could improve that area, definitely. But the children here, mashallah, I mean, generally speaking, they're playing football. They just enjoying, mashallah. Yeah, they're playing football every day. There's football pitches everywhere, even in this area right here. So children just generally, they're very creative in how they play. But definitely, there's always room for improvement.
Now, I want to speak a bit about your motivations for doing Hijrah and actually leaving the States. You were just explaining to me, how it was living in the States, and
I mean, you can.
Go first.
No.
It's a no-brainer for me. Coming out of the music industry, as you know, it was like when I came back. I made Hajj in 2009, and that was my first motivation. That was one of the first things that helped me realize I have to leave America. Because literally, when I made Hajj, when I was there, I didn't hear any music when I was in Saudi. And that's when I realized, I said, I don't need music in my life. That's what helped me stop playing guitar and pianos. When I went there, when I made Hajj, I realized I don't need music. Because I didn't hear it in the elevators. I don't know if they have it now. But at that time, I didn't hear it in the elevators. I didn't hear it outside, and it really helped me tremendously. It helped me a whole lot, man. So when I came back to America, I remember I was in Trenton, New Jersey. I stopped off from New York. We were in Trenton, New Jersey, and I remember, I will never forget this. There was a woman there selling her body. So imagine I just came from Hajj, making Hajj, to go to an environment and see a woman now trying to sell her body. It was like taking a newborn baby and just throwing them in the cold. Literally, when I got back to America, I couldn't go out for like about 2 weeks. I was living in LA at the time. I didn't go outside for about 2 weeks when I got back. It was very difficult. It was like from the masjid back home. It was very difficult. And so that was one of the things that triggered, you know, the thought, look, I have to leave here. And secondly, was the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he spoke about the man that had killed 99 people. That hadith applied directly to me because I was a person in the music industry. And you remember what the scholar said to him after he had killed his 100th person, the Abid who told him, no, Allah will never forgive you.
Yeah.
He said, okay, let
Killed
me
him.
take you out too. He killed him and then went to found a person who was more knowledgeable. And the Sheikh told him that, of course, Allah will forgive you. The door is, the door of Tawbah is open. And he told him, he said, however, you need to leave the place that's causing you to kill. That place where you are is evil. You need to leave it.
Yeah.
So he ended up leaving. So that when I saw that narration, I connected directly with that narration.
SubhanAllah.
Because where I was, if I had stayed in America and I didn't make Hijrah to Egypt at the time, I probably would still be. Allah knows best. It would have been more difficult for me to leave the music industry because I purposely moved to Egypt. So that way, if anyone called me, anyone phoned me and said, "Yo, we need you to come perform here," I literally said to them, "Yo, man, I'm way in Egypt." I said, "What you doing there?" I said, "I'm studying Arabic." So my nefs couldn't get in the way.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to get on a plane. I'm not getting on a plane and go. I'm not going all the way over there to perform. I knew I was that strong to hold it off. So alhamdulillah, it made it a whole lot easier for me.
Allah.
It made it a whole lot more easier for me. Being in Egypt, I've told multiple people called me. I was like, nah, I'm in Egypt, man.
I know
He was
you.
like, you in Egypt? What you doing there?
Yeah. SubhanAllah. How about you, Rashid?
There was so many factors, but similar.
Yeah.
And it was first when I went holiday. First I went Umrah. Then when I came back from Umrah, I felt like Umrah, like sad. I missed the adhan. I went Turkey, I remember, with my family. I missed it. The adhan was so loud, it like entered my heart.
Yeah,
and I
amazing.
felt like for
SubhanAllah.
once,
That's amazing.
the adhan was the main thing.
Yeah.
And the honor, like we're Muslims.
How was it that most converts, the adhan has something to do with it? Right?
It's the adhan, literally that adhan. The brother, you just reminded me of that, Rashid, because one brother told me, I will never forget this. He said, it's not going to hit you where you are. When you go there, you're not going to realize where you are. It's not going to hit you until you hear the adhan. And I heard the adhan out loud. It felt like the world was spinning around me.
Yeah.
And I just saw shops closing around me. Right in Mecca. Saw the shops closing. I'm like, what's going on here?
That got me.
I was a non-Muslim.
It was
I was a non-Muslim when I heard the adhan.
Wow.
I was in Senegal.
Amazing.
And I was like, what is that? It was like,
that's amazing.
so for you, the adhan.
And when you translate the adhan properly and realize what it means, it's just the meaning in itself is just honor. And I felt so proud to be a Muslim and happy. And then when I came back to England, no adhan, I started inquiring, why don't we have adhan? Little things like that. And I realized we're not allowed to do that in England, or noise pollution, whatever law there is. And I realized that I just feel happier with the Muslims. Even though no one's perfect, the Muslims, everything's halal. I don't have to worry about asking if it's halal.
100%.
More people are covered. The adhan, Quran.
100%.
I don't have to hide around the corner when I need to pray Asr late on the side road. I can just pray it right now, and people will join me. And I fell in love with it. And then obviously the evidences from the Quran and the Sunnah, I started reading more and more. And that was it for me.
Sometimes when you and I would be in the car, also when Rashid would be discussing, like, we can list 20, 30 benefits of being in a Muslim country, man. Just off of the top of our minds. Just being able to be in a place like this and give salams. Just being able to give everybody salams, man. In America, having that fear, number one, being black, and then you're Muslim, that's a double fear. My teacher, one of my teachers, he said to me, look, and he wasn't even a Muslim. He said, you're black? He said, now you're Muslim. And I was traveling, I remember I was traveling from LA to Atlanta in a car, by car. He said, you need to be careful. He said, you're black and you're Muslim. These type of things stick in your mind. Now I'm black and I'm Muslim in Gambia.
But that fear is not here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even have to think about that.
Yeah, it's
I don't have to worry about somebody pulling me over because of the way I look, because of the way that Allah created me.
Wow.
You understand? Think about how sick that is.
SubhanAllah.
Nobody has a choice to look the way you look. And
How
for
do
somebody
the
to pull
locals-
you over for that, I didn't choose to look like this.
How do the locals treat you as a foreigner? Because obviously they know you're not like you was not raised here.
Right.
So how are they with you?
I mean, it's, one thing I can say about Gambia. Gambians are very, very open to people. They're very welcoming.
Yeah.
So no matter where you're from, because there's loads of people here that are second generation, third generation Muslims, third generation that are not originally from Gambia. They may be from Lebanon, maybe from India, Pakistan. They're like second, third generations here. So they're very welcoming here. People from Guinea are here. Of course, that's still in West Africa, so they can relate a little bit more. But
Even non-Muslims,
Chinese
even
here?
non-Muslims like it here. You see
so many
some white
non-Muslims,
people
man.
here and
So
Lebanese.
many, yes.
and-
They love
So
it, yeah.
many, man.
When you come off the plane and the plane's full, the moment we land, everyone's laughing and giggling and smiling, and it's that feeling that I'm back in Gambia.
It's
You
amazing.
can't even explain Gambia. It's like Umar and Hajj. Not that level, but you can't explain how good it is until you get it. Most people like it here, but it's the love, the love of the people. They're too nice.
So we've spoke about all the good things. Tell us some of the downfalls, some things you miss, some things that you think this needs sorting out, or this could.
Like one things I mentioned to you, the family things regarding the children, the areas to play. I think this is definitely one of the areas that can be improved.
Activities, you mean?
Activities. There's a number of things we speak about all the time, but I see there's those things that they're not necessarily needs. It's something that would benefit the environment more, or benefit the people even more so. And I feel like Allah has brought the people here to just come and implement those things, man. Because once upon a time, even like places in the UK and America, those things didn't exist.
Yeah.
So somebody has to come along and bring things. Likewise, you see certain things that take place in the environment here is not perfect. What we see here is like what you say is like petty theft. What we would consider petty theft is nothing like. I mean, even when you walk in the police station here, man, it's like I hear people's slippers like sliding, which makes me feel like they're just so relaxed. When you go in a police station in America or UK, the people are very they're tense. Unless you would have to go somewhere like in the South to find police officers like that, where they relax, they don't have nothing to do. They're bored. This is where that whole concept of police eating donuts and stuff like that, they're bored. But police officers in the city, they're on guard. They're on the phones and they're going crazy inside of the police station.
So do you think this is your final destination for Hijrah, or do you always have, is there anywhere better? Are you still looking and see what's available around the world, or do you think, what, I found my place where I think this is where I want to raise my family? Like, I think this is final destination. What do you think? I know it's a big,
for me,
big question. Yeah?
No, that's a good question.
It's a good question.
The thing with me, it could be a bad thing because not everyone's different. I just love all the Muslim lands. I really do.
Same, man.
I love.
I think me and you are very similar
I
in
love
that.
Saudi.
Yeah.
I love Kuwait, but I love Gambia.
Yeah.
And I love Morocco. And I always tell brothers when you make Hijrah, don't fix yourself too much. Don't try to perfect your Hijrah. There's no perfect Hijrah. Come Gambia, come Morocco, come Egypt. If you don't find it doesn't suit you or something bad happens there and you need to leave, no problem. Move to the next country down. There's Tanzania now. There's other places.
Many
there's
places.
Ethiopia.
Many places. Yeah.
There's regions in countries like North Nigeria, North Ghana. So Gambia is one of my bases for sure, and I believe it's one of my main bases. I would like to have something in Morocco because Morocco is in my heart as well. They're my two places. I just love Muslim Africa, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm a bit very similar to Rashid, in that regard. I literally plan to have Gambia as my base foundation. Because see, with Gambia, unlike many other places, you can have your own land here. You can have hectares of land. There's certain laws related to it, but if you're married to Gambian, then you don't have to worry about that. But even some of those laws, I don't see them being implemented. You know, Allah knows best. But you can have your own land here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's no doubt
So you
about
got a
that.
base.
You have your own land. You have your base. You know. So this is the hub. This is the base. And then from there, I wanted to be able to. I love to be in. My heart is connected to multiple Muslim countries. I love the UAE. I love Medina. Since I've been in Medina, that's where my heart is in Medina.
Yeah.
You understand? My heart is in Medina.
You know, the Khalij is good, but like you say, it's not. It's difficult to own property,
It's
to get
difficult to own
residency, unless you've got a job there. And as soon as you get to a certain age, they stop giving you a visa. It's never like home.
Solid.
You
Some of
know,
those places, those places, you gotta have dough.
yeah.
You gotta have money, and if you have the ability, then you know money gives you options to be able to be in places like Malaysia. Malaysia is another beautiful place I've always wanted to visit since Egypt, actually. So, but Gambia is definitely my base.
Yeah, I was just talking about that, you know, because I've been to Malaysia, Indonesia, and currently living in Turkey.
Yes,
but you know,
Turkey, I want to visit.
Yeah, Turkey's great. You know, I like East Africa. You know, like Kenya, Uganda, but it's a bit expensive. You know, so everything has its pros and cons, and
every place.
Like you said, you know, it's not the end of the world. You might come to a place, it might just not suit you. It's not for everyone. You know, you know, everyone has their own style. So, and
I don't have this utopia mindset. I don't have a mind. I don't have this mindset of thinking I'm going to have to go somewhere and it's absolutely perfect, because I'm not expecting that. For me, that perfection is only in Jannah.
Yeah.
You understand?
One of the questions
that
just to finish off with this one is, a lot of people ask, like, is the opportunities to actually do business and earn money from the country itself? Because some countries you need to kind of have an income from outside.
Right.
It's different, you know, like Turkey, for instance. A lot of people from the West who live there, they're working online. It's difficult for them to earn a decent wage in Turkey.
Yeah.
You know, for the level that we live as Westerners, we need. You know, I mean, a lot of people can't go and earn £100 or £200 a month and live off that. It's difficult as a Westerner.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, what sort of opportunities are there for business here? Anything like
business opportunity. You want to touch on that? It's endless business opportunities.
Job-wise, they actually, like, if you come with a degree or paperwork from England or Europe, you can get a job here, a powerful job here. But a top wage here is only about £100 to £200
a month,
and that's a big wage here. But I think this place is about business. If you come with a good business mind and you do a good plan, you'll be okay. Yeah, Tijara is the best way. Tijara is the best way, and there's opportunity. You need to have a strong tawakkul, belief. You know, don't panic if it goes wrong a little bit. I tried a taxi thing. It worked for like 6 months. Then my car broke down. Then I ran out. I didn't have money to fix the car, or there wasn't good enough mechanics. My van broke down. The mechanics weren't that good. That's one major problem here, the car mechanics. We need good mechanics to come here. And then I had a fishing boat, and then the storms took the fishing boat, spun it in the air and smashed it on the floor. So, Qadr Allah. But, you know, some people panic and run off back to Europe. You just got to have tawakkul ala Allah. Allah's going to test your hijrah for sure. And you just got to prove to Allah you mean hijrah. And then he'll help you, like he promised in Surah Nisa.
Agree.
Yeah.
100%.
How much should someone have before thinking of coming? You know, a bit of cash to, you know, a bit of savings. You know, as a realistic kind of try at Hijra at least.
That's a good question.
You know, so you can't come with 1 month's worth of money.
Come with himself or come with his family?
You know, I mean both really. I mean,
I would say one thing I would advise the brothers, inshallah. Allah knows best. Everybody's situation is a bit different, especially if a person's wife has lived outside, you know, in places that may be similar to Gambia, then he may be able to bring his family with him. But I would say it's always advisable for that brother, if he knows his family, for him to come here and see the place himself first.
Yeah.
and get an idea. Would you say the same?
Yeah.
And see, and he would be able to gauge whether his family would, like it or not. And if he thinks they would like it, maybe acquire a place and try it for a year, 2 years or so, and see how they would like it. Because if he comes here by himself, then he's putting up less risk in the beginning.
Yeah, true.
But a couple of years money in Gambia isn't actually that much, is it?
It's not that much.
I don't know how much, but
I would say
if you're saying the rent was so much
I would say 2,000 for the rent if you come with a family.
for a whole year. Yeah.
3,000 for food. About 4,000 for food. So that's 6,000 total. Then you come with 3,000 extra to buy your land. Because once 3,000 is the average price for a good little bit of land, a little 20 by 20. So that's 3 plus 6, 9. And then if you have 10 grand English pounds, you can do any good business here. Some people start restaurants here with 3,000, taxi business 3,000. And if Allah blesses you, He blesses you. But 20,000, you're good. And if you know how to build, you can even build a simple house.
£20,000.
Yeah, I think so. If you come with a business thing.
Oh yeah, to come here with that.
If you just
That's
want to
coming
live,
here with. If you come in here with 20,000, I agree with you. Yeah, you come in here with plenty.
That's a lot of money.
You come in here with a lot of money.
Yeah,
If you come in with £20,000,
it's a lot of money.
that's a lot of
It's
money.
like $30,000, right?
Yeah,
a millionaire here is £15,000. So you're a millionaire here, and that's not many people have that.
That's $1 million.
But what's the least someone can come with? A lot of people. 20,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dough, bro.
The least is many of our brothers have done it, and they've come and stayed with us. One brother came with £100 a month spending money, and he came with his flight money, and you can get a room for £1,000 for the year. So 1,000 for the rent, 1,000 for the living for the year, and just 2,000.
It's like 2,000 to 3,000 as a minimum bachelor.
You can scrape through
just to see what's going on.
And brothers
As
will
a
look
bachelor,
after you.
definitely you can come there with $3,000.
Yeah.
Couple grand, he can come in if he's a bachelor. He can do it.
Well,
I came here as a bachelor.
Yeah,
As
mashallah.
a matter of fact, and I didn't have. I had an online business at the time when I came here. And I was doing some buying and selling online when I first came here, so it made it a lot easier for me when I first came here.
Is there any final comments? Because we're just about to come to Maghrib now. The Adhan is about to go. Any final comments you'd like to mention?
I would definitely say the brothers, make dua and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open their hearts to the place that's best for them, and go out and search. It may not be Gambia.
Yeah.
It may not be Malaysia. It may not be UAE. Who knows? It could be Turkey.
Yeah.
I would say, brothers, don't be scared. Try it. Allah loves the trial. The Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith, whoever takes one step towards Allah, Allah takes 2 steps towards him. At least you want to go on Judgment Day and say, Allah, look, I tried to live with the believers. I've done 5 years here. I've done 3 years in Saudi and they kicked me out. I've done 2 years in Gambia and then I got ill. I've done 1 year in Morocco and they kicked me out. But you just try to be with the believers. It will make your Islam easier.
100%.
And you have less sins and more good deeds, for sure.
Agreed.
SubhanAllah. Jazakallah khair.
Wa
Some nice insight there
Alhamdulillah.
into Gambia. I'm gonna also planning on doing a Hijra series as well.
Okay.
Just kind of giving people an overall, view of Gambia. I'm going to be using this, what you told me about rent and stuff like that to kind of inform the people about what Gambia has to offer. So may Allah reward you and accept it.
Ameen.
And inshallah, we'll see you soon. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء